YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how I feel about and why I believe that Ryan Kerrigan will be more involved in the defense than some people may think. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Redskins. And let's get straight into today's video. So, why Ryan Kerrigan will be more involved in the defense this upcoming year. I'm going to tell you guys that now and why I believe so. So, the whole all season, before we even drafted Chase Young, it was talks about how Ryan Kerrigan should be getting traded. It still talks to this day that he's possibly going to get traded before the preseason. It was a report that just came out the other day saying that he could possibly get traded before the preseason. And, Ryan Kerrigan's 31 years old. He'll be 32 at the start of this season. So a lot of people are saying that he's slowing down. And it's just not the same Ryan Kerrigan of old, obviously. And I can agree with that. I feel as though that he has lost a step. But, I mean, that just comes with age. That's what comes with age. And you got to realize that. You can't expect a 32-year-old player to be moving like he's 22, how he did back in his prime. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, Ryan Kerrigan, although he did lose a step, I still feel as though that he's going to be more involved in the defense than some people may think. With us drafting Montez Sweat last year, with us drafting Chase Young obviously this year, it's just like he's been getting forgotten about, like he's not about to break the sack record holder or become the sack record holder for the Washington Redskins franchise this upcoming year. A lot of people forget that he's going to break the record this year for the most sacks in franchise history. And it seems like a lot of people just sweep that under the rug just because of how he slowed down. People are forgetting that dude is the Iron Man. People are forgetting that dude only haven't missed. He played in every single game for I think his whole career until last year when he got hurt versus I think it was Green Bay, where he missed the rest of the season after that. But before that, he played in every single game of his career. Every single Sunday of Ryan Kerrigan's career, since being drafted from Purdue, he's played in every single game. And that's saying a lot. Maybe now that he played in every game, and now maybe his body's just getting tired. But I beg to differ. I think, Ryan Kerrigan, he still has a lot left in the tank. And I think him taking on the Matt Ioannidis role will help him even more and make the Washington Redskins even more scarier. So we know how Ryan Kerrigan, since for his whole career, has been a predominant, every down pass rusher or outside linebacker too. But I think if he takes on that Matthew Ioannidis role, he'll be even more dominant to finish out his career. And what I mean by the Matt Ioannidis role is, we know how dominant Matt Ioannidis is. We know Pro Bowl season. We know how dominant he is. We know if he was playing on any other team, him and Tim Settle could be a duo of their own. But since this team is just so stacked, they are backup roles. They're like six-mans who aren't starters but still get a lot of PT. So with that being said, I can see Ryan Kerrigan possibly taking a role like that, and that's just helping him out and the Washington Redskins out. He doesn't have to play on every single snap, so he's not tired. His body's not really taking a beating how it did for his first 10 years since he played every snap in every single game. That's just going to rejuvenate his career, really. And that's just going to make the Washington Redskins be more dangerous, and that's just going to help them throw off defenses even more. So with that being said, I feel as though that Ryan Kerrigan is going to be more involved in the defense than a lot of people think. I think if Ryan Kerrigan would have been in the 4-3 his whole career, I think he would have had a 20-sack season. I know that might be a stretch in some people's eyes, but if Ryan Kerrigan had been in a 4-3 his whole career, he'll have a 20-sack season, honestly. And I think just because of Jack Del Rio changing to the 4-3, Ryan Kerrigan is going to feast. What does he do best? He gets at quarterbacks, and it's just like we expected Ryan Kerrigan to do so much with being in the 3-4, with him having to rely on getting to the quarterback and also dropping back in coverage sometimes where we know he lacks that. The speed isn't there as far as covering tight ends or covering the flats. So with him being able to just stick his hand in the dirt and get after the quarterback, that's just going to help him even more. And for the past couple years, I can even say for this whole decade that we've had a Ryan Kerrigan on our team, it's just like we expected him to be the show. We expected him to get back there and get a sack. It's like every third down for every season that we have Ryan Kerrigan. I can say from personal experience, we only looking at Ryan Kerrigan. We're like, come on, Kerrigan, get back there, man. Come on, we need a sack. We need a strip fumble. You know, but outside of that 1 year before we had Preston Smith, before we gave him away, and before he found his, groove, outside of that, we were like, come on, Kerrigan. It's just like he's the only one that we really expected to go out there and do something for the Washington Redskins for a big play. But that's just not the case anymore. He has so many players around him, such as the Bama boys, such as Matt Ioannidis, such as Tim Settle, Caleb Brantley. A lot of people are forgetting about Montez Sweat, obviously, and Chase Young. He's not going to be the vocal point. Everyone isn't going to be having to be focused on Ryan Kerrigan, which is going to help him more because that's going to free up, one-on-one with him where he could be left tackles, right tackles, with his speed. But when Ryan Kerrigan is the vocal point, yes, he does feast. And yes, he is about to break the sack record leader or for the Washington Redskins, become the new franchise leader, being the vocal point. But I think just him not being the vocal point anymore is going to help him even more as his career prolongs. What I mean by the vocal point, if you don't know what I mean, is just when a team goes in before they play a certain team, they have to game plan for that one player. Just how teams are about to have to game plan for Chase Young, that's how they've been doing Ryan Kerrigan for the past 10 years. So he wasn't able to, he made a humongous impact. But for these past couple years, he hasn't been the Ryan Kerrigan of old just because teams have been, making him his vocal point. And now that we have so many other threats on this front seven, it's just going to help Ryan Kerrigan even more. And it's going to help the Washington Redskins even more. So that's what I'm saying. I feel as though that Ryan Kerrigan will be more involved in the defense rather this upcoming year because they have so much to account for, not just Ryan Kerrigan himself anymore. So that's just going to free up space for Ryan Kerrigan to be able to feast. Jack Del Rio, one of the best defensive coordinators in history of the game. And this is going to help Ryan Kerrigan even more. 32-year-old guy that is in great shape. It's not like he's a 32-year-old man that's, lost it and he just got out of shape. That dude is an iron man. He's always in shape, 24/7. 24/7, Ryan Kerrigan's in shape. So with that being said, I just feel as though he's gonna have to embrace the new role, which I think he will do. Because when the trade circulation started to happen around the locker room, he said, "I want to be a Washington Redskins for the rest of my career. I want to be a Washington Redskin for the rest of my career." And a lot of people were like, no, cut him, trade him, because he's taking up too much cap. I think what was he taking up, like 15, 11 million, somewhere around there. And people were like, trade him. He's taking up too much money. We need to go young. But Ryan Kerrigan, probably the only player on this team, or very few players on this team, like he said, was I'm willing to take a pay cut. I'm willing to take a pay cut. He wants to be here and be a Washington Redskins for the rest of his career, so he's willing to take a pay cut in order for that to happen, in order for the team to be successful, in order for the team to go out on free agency and make deals and make plays and bring in big names so we can contend for a Super Bowl. Although it didn't happen yet, I hope it does and I hope it happens because I don't want to cut Ryan Kerrigan. I was on that side of I'm not in love with a certain player to where I'll be heartbroken if we cut him. I'm just like, hey, it's business. But at the same time, it's just like Ryan Kerrigan done so much for this organization. He's about to become the new franchise sack leader. Why not bring him on? He's willing to take a pay cut. He's willing to restructure his deal so it can bring in more talent for the Washington Redskins to succeed in the future. So why not do it? It would be different on the other hand if Ryan Kerrigan didn't want to take a pay cut. He was just like, nah, I can't do it. I need all the money I can. Then I can see why you would cut him or trade him. I'll be all for it. And like I said, it's not that I'm not all for it. I just feel as though it's no negatives of having Ryan Kerrigan on his roster. You can't say he's taking up a roster spot because, quite frankly, he was the starter before we even drafted Chase Young or before he even got hurt. He still is the starter. You know what I mean? Ain't just because Chase Young was the second overall pick and we're expecting him to have big things, don't forget, Ron Rivera is going to make him earn that spot. So, to this day, Ryan Kerrigan is still the starter. And I feel as though that a lot of people are forgetting about that we have Nate Orchard still. So, the DN and the outside, the exterior pressure group is really stacked. So, everyone's got to fight. But back to Ryan Kerrigan, I think he's going to be more involved in the defense than a lot of people think. I think he's also going to take on that role of helping the young guys get better. Show them what it is and what it ain't. You know, what's good and what's not. So I think he's going to take on a more important role on and off the field this upcoming year. So with that being said, it's been boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Redskins, and turn on post notifications so you can notify when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case, our Washington Redskins. And once again, I think that, and I believe that Ryan Kerrigan will have a bigger role in 2020 than more people think. I think that he'll take on a bigger role. So let me know what you guys think down below as always. Been boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Redskins. Peace.